Hello, beautiful people. Day 20 in the books. As you can see, I'm back home. Feels very good to be here. Feels very good to connect with you guys from here. It's literally a different world. I feel so removed from what I was going through not that long ago. And what I was going through in Portland was so intense. My capacity to hold space, I reached the threshold of how much space I could hold and thought it was as much as I could possibly hold. And then God, the universe, showed me how much more I could actually hold. They expanded my container while I was there. Life was asking of me to grow into something more. And for my 2 weeks in Portland, especially the last week, I felt like I was in the pressure cooker, just being really molded into something that I've never been before, something with more of a capacity to handle my inner darkness, with more of a capacity to surrender than I ever knew possible in me before. And this is not something that just because I was spiritual, I was experiencing there. This was not just excluded to me. I saw this in everybody in the city. I saw this in my best friend who I was visiting there. And she's a school teacher, and they're going through massive upheaval right now because the classes are being canceled, and she's in this long-term sub position, so she doesn't even know if she's going to get paid the rest of the year. And how is she going to pay rent? And this is just one example, and there's millions of these examples because of everything that's going on right now. And when we were talking, I was just telling her, my perspective was whenever life, whenever life deconstructs something, takes something away, whenever we have to let go of something that's falling apart, it's usually, especially what I've experienced in my life, it's because it's clearing the space for something even greater to come through. It's clearing, like I said, even if you lost everything and you had to move to a new place, this is life taking you to somewhere where maybe you even would enjoy it more. You'd find a better position, maybe more money, more connection. And that's one thing that I was taking away from my experience in Portland now that I'm back home, is just how much the city helped me to grow, helped me to see my inner fears, my inner beliefs, my inner stories that were going on, how much I was still capable of blaming my feelings and my inner state on a story, on an external thing. And so much of what was going on in Portland was people having to come face to face with themselves, with their trauma, with their reflection of everything that they had been suppressing. An event like that stirs up so much fear, that stirs up so much, even anger and uncertainty. It's the unknown and the uncertainty that I felt like was bringing people to their capacity, to their brink of how much they could handle. And yes, this might initially be super painful, and it might really feel like it's breaking you. But what it was doing, what I saw while I was there, it was really starting to wear on people and break them down, and the pain was becoming very heavy, and everyone was feeling it, including myself. But what I know in my heart is going to happen is that city is going to build itself back up in a new way, with more space for each other, with more love for each other, with more compassion, because it's through experiencing our pain that we develop and we cultivate our compassion for others. And I know my friend, how she is already shifting her perspective with what's happening. She's already, it's a process. Of course, we need to let ourselves feel the sadness, the fear, the grief. Because when we don't give ourselves permission to feel sadness, we're going to start feeling lots of anger. Because we've lived in a society for too long that has told us that sadness is not a good emotion to feel. Sadness is crucial to feel if you want to feel joy. The deeper you can go into your sadness, the more of your sadness that you're going to let up, the more expansive and euphoric joy you're going to experience on the other side. And that's what I know for Portland to be true. And all of these cities going through the same type of upheaval right now, the same type of uncertainty, the same type of fear. There's gonna be that initial pain and sadness and anger. But on the other side, these cities are gonna be transformed. Why? Because the people living there are becoming transformed. Life is transforming humanity. And it doesn't always look and feel good when that happens. Look at our spiritual awakenings. Think about how much more joy and peace and openness and wisdom and clarity you have now. But think of the path that got you to where you are. The path that had so much pain, so much uncertainty, so much unknown, so much fear. You've probably felt like you were losing your mind at times, and maybe you're still in that. And if you are, that's okay. But I saw that reflection going on in Portland. People, so many people I saw like this. That means they're reaching their breaking point, their boiling point. And sometimes, I know this is true for me, that is what is needed to evolve, to expand, and to ascend. What is happening in Portland and all over right now is for the ascension of the human race. Make no mistake. And we are all a part of this. I just feel so removed from that now that I'm able to see with such clarity how life was not only helping myself, life brought me to Portland, I see, for that experience, to be in the middle of a fear miasma, an intense fear bubble, to see how I would respond. What would be my response? And life brought me there so I had an opportunity to unearth and heal years of fear trauma. I had so much fear coming up because I had the opportunity to be in a place that was being triggered on such an intense scale. And that's what the opportunity is right now. The opportunity is for everybody to be in a place where they can no longer avoid themselves. And it's when we're not avoiding ourselves, it's when we take the time to connect to ourselves that we evolve the fastest. So that's what came through today, day 20. Thank you for the donations. I just want to say especially a big thank you to Rich. What a generous donation today for something I love doing. I love making these meditation videos for you guys. It just brings me so much joy and so much warmth. I love you all so much. And I will see you all on day number 21. Namaste.